How to become good at nothing for YouTube.
Let's first start with motivation. Motivation is a difficult subject because it is as individual as we are, and if one tries to force another person to be motivated, it will backfire. You can become good at nothing for YouTube by doing a few things. You need to have a solid understanding of what is going on in your video and how it will be viewed. This is something that takes time, so it's important to start small and work your way up as you gain more knowledge about the platform. Once you have mastered these skills, then it's time to put them into practice. Motivation is a difficult subject because it is as individual as we are, and if one tries to force another person to be motivated, it will backfire. Motivation is a very personal thing. It's hard to force someone else to be motivated, and you can't fake it either. You might find yourself reading this and thinking that you should be motivated by this article, but how do you physically go about changing something so deeply ingrained in your psyche? Motivation is not rational, it comes from within your heart and mind, and probably other organs. The best way I've found to become good at nothing for YouTube is through self-motivation, which means knowing what makes you happy, not everyone else. What motivates us might not motivate others. The first thing to consider is that motivation is a personal thing. We all have our own reasons for doing things, and we should respect that. If you want to become good at nothing, your motivation might not be the same as someone else's who wants to make YouTube videos or learn how to code. In order for us to become good at something, there needs to be an internal drive within ourselves that motivates us enough so we can push through any difficulties along the way. This could mean working hard during long nights or taking breaks from work during long weekends. It could also mean putting yourself through endless hours of practice in front of your computer screen until you feel confident enough about what changes need made before moving on, whatever way works best for you. You might even find yourself writing songs or making short films just because they're fun. It doesn't matter whether those things will ever see the light of day, the internet, but what matters most right now is finding something inside yourself worth chasing after every day. A great motivator for me is the opportunity to learn something new. Learning is the best reward. The more you learn, the happier life becomes. When I was younger, I thought that if I just got a degree and got a job in my field, then everything would be okay. But now that I've learned more about myself and others through studying different subjects and languages, and even some non-human ones, my perspective has changed drastically. Learning gives us an opportunity to grow as human beings. It opens our minds up to new ideas and experiences that can help us become better people overall. And these things have been shown time after time by research studies done by universities around the world. Learning makes us happy because when we find something interesting or useful out there in this big world of ours, it feels good knowing we've made an impact on someone else's life too. I've read that there are those who are motivated by the competition, winning, and those who are motivated by the challenge, learning. There are two types of motivation: competition and challenge. Competition motivates you to win, while challenge motivates you to learn. If this is your motivation, then it's important that you understand yourself before trying to motivate others around you. If someone else wants something from me, I need help understanding what makes them tick so that I can find a way for them to get their needs met without feeling threatened by my success or failure in achieving those needs myself, and vice versa. This can only happen if we understand each other's motivations first. It's probably worth experimenting with motivation to see what works and what doesn't. There are a number of different ways to become good at nothing, but motivation is probably the most important factor. Some people are motivated by money, and some by learning. Others may want to compete with others who can do it better than them. It's important to figure out what motivates you, so that you can put your energy into that instead of trying to force yourself into something else, like becoming an expert in Google search. If something doesn't work for you, then try something else. If a manager rewards a person who invented something new with more money, the next time they will try even harder to be creative and innovative. If a manager rewards a person who invented something new with more money, the next time they will try even harder to be creative and innovative. This is why it's important not to focus on money when you are trying to be creative. Money can be an incentive for people working at an organization, but it doesn't necessarily encourage them to do their best work or think outside of the box. You should only reward people based on performance and not just seniority or length of service in your company. Otherwise, you're encouraging laziness instead of innovation. If a manager instead rewards this person by giving them more busy work, they will get burned out quickly and stop trying to be innovative or creative. A good manager will understand that you can be creative without being innovative. If a manager instead rewards this person by giving them more busy work, they will get burned out quickly and stop trying to be innovative or creative. You can motivate yourself without being mean to yourself. You can't force someone to be motivated. Motivation is a personal thing, and it's not something that you can buy off of a shelf at your local drugstore or buy from another person. It's not something you can get by watching YouTube videos and hoping that they'll motivate you enough to do what needs doing. Motivation comes from within, it's not something that anyone else can give us as individuals. Conclusion. In this article, I've talked a lot about motivation. I believe that it can be helpful to talk with someone who has a similar experience or who has experienced something similar before. It might also help to think about what motivates you in life and how you have done it before.